Hi there. As usual, thanks once again for joining us. I love the story of the hotel that realised that the lift wasn't handling the growing number of people that were coming to the hotel, and they called in some experts. And after much talking, the experts concluded that they would have to cut a hole right through the centre of the hotel. It was going to be messy, it was going to take a long time, and it would mean the hotel would have to close till the job was finished. Now, the management naturally were not happy with this at all. They would lose money. Well, one day they were talking about it, and a janitor who was cleaning nearby said, "I think I know the way that you could solve the problem without shutting the hotel." And they looked at this fellow with the mop in his hand in disbelief, and one manager said, "Well, smart guy, tell us what it is." And the janitor said, "Well, you could build a lift on the outside of the building. You could build it with glass if you wanted to. And the people would look down over the bay as they went up to their rooms. That might be an attraction." And those well-paid guys were stunned. Here was the Janny who had solved their complex problems in just 2 or 3 sentences. And they built that lift on the outside of the building, just as he suggested, and it became the first of its kind anywhere in the world. Isn't it true that we often make things more complicated than they are? I think we do it with our faith. We certainly do it with the church. We complicate it. I remember an old minister who once said to me, "God made us and he knows how to fix us." Very simple, but wise words. Paul, writing to the emerging young church, once wrote that he prayed that we would learn to love God. You know, according to a recent survey, couples who see one another through rose-coloured spectacles have the happiest relationships. The rest of the world may see them differently, but they see the good points in each other, not the bad ones, the strengths and not the weaknesses. And I believe that that's how God sees us. And if we really understand that, then we should be looking at others in exactly the same way. We should be looking for the good rather than the bad. 2,000 years ago, Jesus once said, "Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? And yet not one of them is forgotten by God. You are more value than many sparrows." Each of us is special. Each of us is unique. No one else is like you. No one else is like me. Every person is a miracle of existence. And that's what Jesus believed, and that's the liberating message of the gospel. It's simple. God loves you and expects you to love others. Christ calls us to accept others, their strengths as well as their weaknesses, the sinful as well as the righteous, the prostitutes as well as the pastors. Keep it simple. May God help us to accept others and forgive others, just as God has forgiven us. I think that's what it truly means to be a follower of Jesus. Once again, thank you for listening to us this morning, and may God bless you.